Hi, what we're going to do today is the inverted heart. What we have is several pages at the front and at the back to give it a frame. Then the front of the heart edge is set back 4 centimeters, and then the back of the heart here is set back 7 centimeters. Okay, so what we'll need is a book, okay, of the right numbers. Okay, this is just a demonstration book, so I've done some other stuff at the front, so we'll just carry on from there. Really save me using another book, but basically the pattern will give you what size of book that you need. So yeah, the book, ruler, okay, some scissors, a pencil, and I use a small ruler as well for this, but it's not essential. It just makes things a little bit easier. This is actually a broken one, smaller ruler is helpful. Obviously the pattern you'll need as well. Now I'm going to use a pink pen to mark, just so that it's easier to see on the video. Okay, so here we go with the book. Now if we get the pattern here, so the first 10 I've put as a no fold. That sets that frame that we saw here. Okay, so it's basically just gives the sets it off nicely. You can do more than 10 pages, actually 10 sheets, but you know, a minimum of 10 I would suggest. So yeah, so that's the first 10. Okay. So if we imagine we've worked out where we're going to start, I'll just put those aside, ignore those. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So the first actual fold that we're going to do is fold number 11. I'll just move these items out the way. Okay, we'll put the pattern here. Okay, so fold number 11 states fold 4 centimeters from edge. So what we're going to do here is fold this page vertically, okay, so down that way, and the fold line will be at 4 centimeters down that page. Okay, now you can either mark at 4 centimeters like so, okay, and then fold to that line. You could fold that way. It does get a little bit difficult doing that that way. You might be able to fold it that way. That's quite good. What I tend to do, I just find it a lot easier, is double it. Okay, so you'd mark to the so you'd mark to the 8 centimeters like that, yeah, and then fold this edge here to that 8, mark for the 8 centimeters. Make sure that your page is nice and smooth along that edge, so you get a nice parallel fold down there. Just run your finger along there, okay, and then that actually is folding on the 4. Okay, I just find that a lot easier. Okay, so that's all we do for number 11. Fold number 12, you're folding for 7 centimeters from this edge, so exactly the same. This is a little bit tight because you're folding right into the page there. Now I know this ruler is right on 14 because Okay, so we're doubling it again, so the fold line will be at 7 centimeters. So double it to 14, mark your 14, and then again bring the edge of the page up to that mark. Make sure that's nice and flat there, and run your finger down there. So that's your first 2 folds. Okay, so this is the back of the heart, this is the front of the heart. Okay, so that was number 12. So number 13, now you're not marking as you would normally do on this edge, you're going to fold to 4 centimeters first. Okay, so fold along the 4 centimeter line. Okay, so you're marking on the 8 like that, bringing the edge of the page up to that mark, make sure it's nice and flat there, and fold along there. Then just make a mark on there to the 7 centimeter mark there. Okay, that's where you're going to fold it back, and that'll become clear as I mark this. So now we're marking on that 13 there, the marks 765 and 845. Now don't forget, these are obviously two decimal points, so half a milli accuracy. If you're used to doing it just to a millimetre accuracy, just ignore those last figures, so you do 7.6 and 8.4 instead. Okay, so just make sure your ruler's nice and parallel, yeah, and then you mark those 765, and you're marking it so you're putting your ruler right up to that 7 centimeter mark, and then we'll mark 765. 765 would be there, and 845 is there. Also just mark down that line a little bit. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. So those are your points, and you're just marking along that 7 centimeter line as well. And again, that'll become clear in just a moment. So now we're cutting that out. Okay, so you cut nice and straight through that line to the edge of that page where it's folded like that. Okay, so you cut that, then you pull this out. Yeah, so you open it up, you end up with this flap, and just fold that flap back level to the marks that you've made. So basically that's folding along that 7 centimeter fold line, and that is the back of your heart. Okay, so we're just starting to open up the heart there. Sounds like surgery, doesn't it? And I'll just show you on the finished one. Okay, so what we've got is that's your first 2 folds. Okay, and then no, you can't see that, sorry. Right, okay, so that's your first cutout, yeah, and as you can see, what you're doing is opening that up to get the heart shape, yeah, and as you go through the pattern, the gap that you're cutting out, the flap that you're ending out with, will get bigger and bigger as you do the heart, as you move through the pattern. Okay, and so when you're folding back, it's the back of the heart, yeah. Okay, so we go back, and I'll show you again that, and so that was 13. So the next one will just be a fold 7 centimeters from the edge, so you're just creating a stable sort of back of the heart. So we measure again for the 7 centimeter fold line, double up to 14 to mark, fold that edge of the page up to that mark, nice and flat again, and just run your finger down there. Okay, and then the next one is 15. Okay, so we've got the next cutouts bit to do. So again, fold to your 4 centimetre line, so double up to 8. This is to for the front of the heart. Bring the edge up there, nice and flat, flush along that edge, run your finger, then mark the 7, which is marking the back of the heart, like that. Take your longer ruler to mark the positions, making sure it's nice and parallel. Okay, and so it's 6.9, 9.2, 6.9, 9.2. Let's mark there and there so you can fold back to that line easier. Cut that. Making sure it's nice and straight. You can use the text lines to guide you. Okay, so there's your flap. So open that back out and then fold it back to those marks that you made on the 7 centimetre line for the back of the heart. Yeah, you see what we've done there, we've created a bigger opening, and that will just get bigger as you go along to create the heart. Okay, so then the next one, 16, is 7 centimetre, no cutting, just the back of the heart again, and you'll get quicker as you move along. Just make sure you keep it nice and accurate. So the next one will be to 8. Basically it's alternate 7 with no folds, then your 4 to the front of the heart, and cutting out that that tab shape to flap to create the heart, and then marking the position, your 7 centimetre fold line. Okay, and then making sure that's nice and straight there, and this is fold 17, 6.2, 9.75. Okay, again mark your 7 centimetre line to fold to, slip it there, slip it there, open that out, and then fold to that 7 centimetre line again. And there you have it. So as you can see, what we're doing here is just, you can see that heart shape just starting to open up as you go along. I haven't done it here, but as you go along, just make sure that all those fold lines are measuring up, and you can just adjust it as you go along. So if we go back to the finished one here, you'll see that opening up. As I say, just make sure that as you go along that they're folding nice and flat, and that's it really. You just carry on through the pattern and to the end, and you'll end up with your inverted heart. Happy folding!